Do the Parental Rights and Education bill that was passed by the legislature, I'd like to know if you believe that it was necessary, Mr. Stanley.
Do I believe it was necessary?
Yeah, the legislation, was it necessary?
I think parents have always had rights in our schools. I think where we need to improve is the parent engagement. Everybody here is engaged. That's why you're here tonight. You're not the ones that we need to get engaged. It's the thousands of other parents who are not reading emails, they're not checking focus, they're not reading to their kids. And so for me, I think the parents' rights, makes us feel better. I don't know if a lot of those things, were necessary, but
okay, so
no issue.
Let me follow up real quick to try to get, so do you think that we're better off with the legislation that's passed, or would we be better off without it passed? I'm trying to find out if you thought
I don't think it really changed the ground game. I don't.
Okay. Thank you.
No, again, this is one of the reasons that I felt compelled to run for office when I saw what was happening in the middle school next door to where I taught. And I do believe, that there was a need for that. And we've seen lawsuits around the state of Florida that show that there was a need, that there were things happening in our schools that parents were not aware of. Parents have to get involved, have to get engaged. And I do believe that there was a place for that bill. And it really, I know when we were doing the LGBTQ guide, I was glad to have that bill in our district because it gave some credence and some guidelines for doing an LGBTQ guide because we had to follow the Parental Bill of Rights. And so I absolutely am glad we have that in the state of Florida. Part of that bill is also the education of the gender ideology in kindergarten through 3rd grade. So I am glad that we have those protections for our young students.
And just to follow up on that, this bill is great, but there's other parts of this that I don't think the community understands. When we go on a field trip, we now have to get parent notification on a field trip, which is great for the 90% of parents who return the form, but the 10% who don't, they don't get to go on that trip. When we watch a movie, when we read a book. And so I think those things are important, Steve, but in terms of the gender ideology going in our classrooms, I don't think that stuff was happening. In terms of parent notification, absolutely something that was an issue here in this district. But I don't know if that bill is going to change that, Steve.
Well, I think that the parent notification actually, and we covered the story, was that there was a policy that they didn't have to notify parents.
That the superintendent didn't know about.
Well, it was a policy, so now
Right.
it's against the law if you have that policy.
As long as he knows about it.
Well,
that's my thing. Is I think if people are going to do the right thing, they're going to do the right thing, and I think that if they're going to do the wrong thing, they're going to do the wrong thing. And so, for me, I'm fine with that bill. I have no issues with the bill. I think that it caused some confusion maybe amongst our public.
No, I've read the bill multiple times. I fully support that bill.